Hey, what's going on, y'all? We're going to discuss timing today. Timing is everything because some people, they try hard at a situation and they don't give it no time to manifest into what it can turn out to be. Um, Sometimes people, they'll go hard for like 3 months, 6 months, even a year, and then they'll give up because they feel like they ain't where they want to be. Depending on how behind you are financially, how deep you are into debt, you got to understand that it's going to take some time, no matter what the situation is, right? So, say for instance, you owe thousands of dollars in credit cards. You know, you might have 2 or 3 credit cards. You owe that, which that can wait. You can pay that whenever you get ready. That's not really as important if you're not planning on buying a house and everything to get that stuff cleared up or whatever. You might owe student debt. That's going to show up. You can pay that too, but eventually they'll start taking your money if you owe them. Um, it's a few things that I would start immediately. Um, your rent, you don't want to get behind on that. Your cell phone, because usually that's how you communicate, and sometimes some people make money with their cell phone. So your rent, your cell phone, electricity, these are bills that can't go without being dealt with every month. And so you got to pay them bills, the car note and car insurance. It just piles up. And once you start trying to live a productive life, you got all these type of bills that you got to keep up with. Plus, you got to get yourself out of debt. Anything else that you owe, whether it's child support, whether it's people you done borrowed money from. And so some people don't know where to start, or they do start and they give up and try something else and try something else, and it just puts them further into debt. So I'm gonna slice it up into months. So, because some people can't think so far ahead, so we're gonna slice it up into months. Month by month. Say this month you try some things and it just went terrible. So next month you don't want to do the same thing because it's gonna be 12 months of terrible, right? So say you try a method and it works. Like, man, like I just paid a little here, paid a little here, bought some food. Paid a little here, paid a little there, paid bills. Paid a little. And at the end of the month, everything went. You paid everything, but you were still broke, right? So the next month, you got to figure out, use the same format that you used last month, but try to cut back on something so you can end up with a little money in your pocket, whether it's $50, $60, whatever, right? So you're going to pay a little here, pay a little there. I mean, first of all, and then hopefully you can set up your bills that they're not all at the beginning of the month, for one. Rent is always going to be at the beginning of the month. Just no other way, because that's something you can't control. So try to make, if you get a car note, try to make your car note in the middle of the month. Because now you don't got to tackle those at the same time, because that can be stressful. That can have you borrowing money. Then when you get if you get paid every 2 weeks, that check you get at the beginning of the month, you're paying your rent, but by the middle of the month, you owe all that money out. So spread your bills out for one. The bills that you can't go without, like rent, car note, insurance. So pay your rent at the beginning of the month. Make sure your car note is probably in the middle of the month. And if you have to, uh, your insurance, make it a little bit after the car note. So that means you can spread it out everything so you can figure out in between those paydays what you can do, what you can make happen, right? So, all right, you spreading out the bills. Because some people like to try to pay everything at once at the beginning of the month. Theoretically, that sounds like, oh, I can get it out the way. I ain't got to worry about it no more. But just life just don't work like that. Because now you're trying to do too much at the beginning of the month. Now you broke. But by the time you get paid in the middle of the month, that other check, you didn't borrow money. You didn't borrow money that you got to owe out. Now you still got to eat. You still got to have gas. It's just going to be stressful. So spread out your bills, right? Rent at the beginning of the month, car note at the middle of the month, and if you have to, make the insurance at the end of the month. The car, insurance for the car, because that's not going to be so much that it'll interfere with your rent for the next month. So just so now we slicing up to the 12 months. Last month it worked. You got all your bills paid, but you still was broke. So the next month you're gonna say, well, okay, maybe I'll cut down on buying lunches at work. Like, these just little methods. So I mean, we're still gonna spend money at work, but pack out of the week, you pack your lunch. 4 or 5 times. 4 times out of the week, you might buy something at work once. Or if you really want to get down to the get down, you pack your lunch every day for the week. And every once in a while, you're going to get something out of the vending machine, whether it's something to drink or just a snack or whatever, but that's not going to kill you. So now, at the end of that month, you might have an extra $100. And it might get slick to you till you start trying to see if we can cut down on everything. If you got cable, people say, I can't live without my cable. If you might have to cut your cable out for 6 months or something like that, whatever, until you can get, because I've done it. I got to figure out everything I can cut out, everything I can go without, so I can continue, holding up everything. So now we done figured out, we cutting down stuff. We slicing it up. We cutting off the restaurant stuff. We cutting out eating at work, buying out the cafeteria. We packing lunches or whatever. At this point, you in full grind mode. You're going to have to do something to change everything, the situation. Not to say that this is going to make everything better. This is going to cut down expenses so you can get to that point that things will get better, right? So, and if you in that much debt, you have to know it's going to take a couple of years. It might take a year to 2 years for everything to get better. Some people will go 6, 7 months and they'll keep on switching up, keep on changing different things because they're wondering why things ain't getting better. You got to look at the big picture. You are thousands of dollars in the hole and you still got to live every month, pay bills, and then still try to pay all this debt out. That's not going to be easy. It might not even be caught up within a year. You just want to get it to the point that you can live comfortably and pay off this stuff, these debts, little by little. Don't think you're just going to pay off these debts in a few months or whatever, because now you're going to be trying all kinds of schemes. You're going to be trying to, if I do this, you're going to be trying to cut all kinds of corners because like some old get-rich plan type stuff. And you don't want to get caught up in that because you'll never catch up because those are too unpredictable. And then you borrow from this person to pay that person back, and you borrow from this person, then borrow from that person, and you owe so many people that at some point, you just lost. And you just grab it at anything that seems like it might work. So you got to slow down, take a deep breath, say, what is my plan? What is my plan? If you just have to talk to yourself, sometimes you got to say things out loud to see if it sounds credible, see if it sounds legit. Because we'll do stuff and I'm like, that was stupid as I don't know what. And you'll hear somebody else lecturing you, like a family member or something. And when they say it, it sounds like, man, why didn't I know that? Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. You got to be like, okay, if I pay this bill, I pay that bill. And don't make another bill. I don't care if somebody got some nice furniture, some furniture that's like $3,000. They say, well, we'll sell it to you for $500. It's a good deal. It's probably a deal you would never see again. But you're so far into debt, you can't keep on making debt. You can't keep on, well, I got to do this, I got to do. That's another thing. You're going to hear so many good deals come your way when you can't afford it. And if you keep on trying to afford it, you're going to keep on putting yourself, okay, you got some new furniture, but now you're $500 back and you still need all the other stuff that you needed at first. It's like you got a game plan, and it ain't no one game plan that's going to work. It's so many different game plans out there. And some people get distracted. They got a good game plan that's working, and then they hear their friend got another game plan. They, oh, that sounds better than my game plan. Then they stop their game plan and then start doing the other game plan, and that game plan might not be for you. Now you get all messed up, and you starting all over again the next year. Every year is your year. This year going to be my year. When you stick, I don't care how many good ideas you hear. If what you're doing is working, you stick to it. You stick to it until you get comfortable enough, because you want to get comfortable enough that if you make a mistake, you're not messed up. Once you get comfortable enough and you think you want to switch your game plan or try something different, I don't advise it, because that means you trying something else that you don't know if it works, and you trying something else you know it works. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's time. Time. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, it may take 3 years. Long as you see each year that things are getting a little better. Like, oh, I didn't have this last year. I got furniture now. I got, I'm paying bills. I got my car paid off. It's gonna happen little at a time. And once you realize little at a time, I guarantee you it'll be worth it. But they say time is money. Take your time. If if you rush and keep on trying to cut corners, you'll look up, it'll be 10 years, you're still in the same situation, jumping from household to household, then lost 3 or 4 apartments. Take your time, because the time is money, and you will see growth. You will see growth. You slice it up month by month. Don't look at it year by year, because month by month, if you know you did terrible last month, you can't do the same things you did last month. If you know you did excellent last month, copy and paste. Do the same thing you did last month, the same thing you did last month, the same thing you did the month before, and it'll get you through the 12 months. Copy and paste. If it worked last month, it'll work this month. Don't change nothing. Yes, here and there you're gonna buy little stuff, but don't buy to the point it can mess up your rhythm of getting back on your feet, because then you're gonna fall and you're gonna have to start over again. That's all I want to tell y'all, man. Time is money. Time is money. Take your time and do it right.